I'm a retired reality TV star and I'm now a young filmmaker.
Hi, I am Olufisayo Sholaja. I'm a sound recordist and a costumer.
Asero Mohasa. I'm a writer, director, and producer all the way from Botswana. Most recently, I worked on a project. I actually wrote and directed the project called Mukwalo that played on Mzansi Magic all the way in Southern Africa.
Irmia Espononzedi. I'm a film composer, a sound designer, and an audio post-production supervisor.
Fine Ochime. I'm the director for Esilo Visual Studio.
Etinosa. I'm a sound recordist for film / assistant director.
Tolu Obaro. I'm a sound designer and I'm a nominee.
Minadi. I'm an actor. I'm at the Amvca Young Filmmakers Day.
Islam Chris Chidiboom. I'm an actor, model, and content creator.
It's EU. I am an actor, content creator.
Sean Butler. I'm from the U.S. I'm here in Nigeria. I have an entertainment company called Atunjue Entertainment Limited, and our objective is to take your production and help to push it globally.
It's been really insightful. I mean, it's Sean. You can't think less. You can't expect less. It's a Sean Butler. So, yeah, really insightful, really impactful. It's a lot.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. I think as a director especially, and when I do producing, we often neglect how important sound is. And we often don't realize how much attention we need to give sound people and the sound team. So that's what I learned, and just a lot of the technical stuff that they need to make sure they get right. I learned it, and once again, because I'm from Botswana, I learned so much information that is for myself, but also I want to take home back to Botswana to sound people, to teach them on like things that we can do to make sure that we're always, doing the best work that we can put out there.
Like pretty interesting because we get to actually see professionally how it is now in terms of our distance in Nollywood right now, and bringing somebody who's worked in Hollywood, trying to see how much you are to invest in terms of sound.
Nigeria is diverse. We have over 300 tribes, right? So depending on the area of film that we're going in, it depends. And at the end of the day, it's always the story, the script writer and the storyteller's vision, right? So I think Africa Magic does have indigenous film. There's Africa Magic Yoruba, Africa Magic Hausa, Africa Magic Igbo, So in that aspect, yes, we have the movies that are focused on that. But
I only spent 5 minutes inside, but it sounded really nice. But I couldn't relate because they were talking about sound. But when I came in for the first time, they were playing the monologue challenge, and I moved on to the next round. Whoopee!
It feels good to be a nominee. I mean, is it four? Yeah, four nominations in two categories. I feel so blessed. I feel so honored. I feel seen, which is what people don't get a lot, but thanks to multi-choice, we are here.
Wow, this is the 11th edition of the Amvca. It's been an interesting class so far, so good. On the master class on this master class it's all about sound. It's all about sound for the young filmmakers. I think I was able to grab a whole lot of things as a director, as a filmmaker. I've learned a whole lot of things to communicate to my sound man on what is right to be done. So we don't go on and over again, re-recording sound due to sound challenges, and like a lot of issues come on post. So I think I've learned a whole lot here that I can tackle it with.
Hey, it's been amazing. I mean, it's super educative, and I got to learn a lot about sounds. We actors, most times we don't get to know how the sounds we make are being produced. So it was amazing listening to Sean teach us today.
This conference has been very enlightening. Like, I got to learn a few things about filmmaking, how to take it from here to here,
From the conference, Sound in Filmmaking by Sean, it has been impactful, honestly. It has been a wonderful experience. I've learned a lot. I've taken home, if you see my notes, it's full. And it's something that I hope that we really try to do in Nigeria, especially when it comes to equipment. Please, it can be expensive, but I think we should put more money into it so that our sound will be fighting with Hollywood.
Perception here so far has been kind of amazing. The people here are so inquisitive. Like, they want to know more. Like, I almost ran out of things in my brain to tell them, because everybody wanted to know everything. And I wish I could have had a space to sit down and do post, because then I could have showed them some other things. I wish I could have had a scene on a movie to actually show them how to do things. Like, they wanted to know so much, and I wanted to give them everything they wanted to know. So, you know, I wish I could have done more, but I think what we did was great.
Our general sound in Nigeria is still improving a lot, and you know, we owe it to the opportunities we've had lately to work on big budget movies like the originals, talking about people that worked on all the original series that has gone to Netflix or Prime. We owe those improvements to them, because over the years people just carry sound and dump it here, dump it there, and it's been a lot of not so good output. But these days, because you will have to go through a lot of QC, and then everybody is drastically improving. I mean, for me, I've done like 4 or so originals. I'm not sure, 5. I'm not sure. Gangs of Lagos, Jagu Jagu One. I'm talking originals only. Lisha B, 7 Doors, and I mean, if you even watch the way it's been, you see that there is a lot of improvement. I'm not even talking about the cinema movies here, like Everybody Loves Jennifer, every other one. You will see that there are some films that the producers are, are like giving everything they need to give for it to sound good, including time and, of course, improved budget.
It comes also down to the structure of film. A lot of us actually don't know what the structure of filmmaking is, or let me say, we wear so many hats because of the style that we had already gone into, which is guerrilla filmmaking. We don't do so much planning. And then, yes, oftentimes I'm a sound designer, and then I'm wearing so many hats as a dialogue editor. I'm wearing a hat as a composer. I'm wearing a hat as a recording mixer or a mix engineer. And funny enough, I'm not supposed to be doing all that, right? But because of the fact that, number one, we don't have so many people in terms of the skill set. Sound is pretty expensive to go into learning. Because you actually have to also train your ears. Now, it makes it kind of like harder for people to go into if they don't have an experience with like sound or music or whatever. And oftentimes the skill set is kind of like shaky. So to an extent, one of the things we can do is mostly information. And even as sound designers right now, we need to be pushing ourselves in educating both the directors or even upcoming filmmakers. I mean, the people I finished with the MTF set now knew that, okay, this is this aspect of sound, this aspect of sound, because of they were in the same space with me, right? And oftentimes we do not really know all that. So the way to encourage is, as sound designers, try to bring more people on board. Try to bring more people on board in terms of understanding your function in telling a story also.
Coming here, Multi-Choice Talent Factory has been the one who has been bringing me to do all these events. I taught at Talent Factory for the last graduating class, so you'll see a lot of their movies in the awards. So, you know, I think I might should get an award too, but, you know, maybe not. But I think that this is probably one of the best experiences I've had since I've been here, you know, working with African Magic and Talent Factory. And I want to continue doing this because the work they're doing is something that is so needed, not just here, but, you know, around the world, honestly. But this is my focus at this moment, is to help content in Nigeria to start to go more global. And so with the Amvca's Talent Factory, I think that that's something that we're going to be able to do a lot sooner than later.
One of the things that will be the real truth to us is that most Nigerian films are low budget. I'm going to put it as the truth. And this is the honest truth. Why? Because if you check the average cost of a low budget film, I mean in Hollywood standard, you know that there's no Nigerian film that has reached that. That is about $2 million. That's the cost. That's the highest cost for a low budget. And so one of the things is that we have budget constraints, skill constraints, and even though we might want to bring it out, we can only probably bring it out as drama.
First off, I'm very grateful for Amvca, for Multi-Choice Talent Factory for putting this together, because this is one of a kind when it comes to sound in filmmaking. I don't see it, to be honest. It's hardly seen that there's an event about sound in filmmaking, and it's really interesting and it's really nice, because most of the time when we learn sound, we don't really know and understand what we're doing. Sometimes it's like, oh, from hand to mouth kind of job, so it's not really something that we are really doing. But the more we continue this kind of conferences, I feel the more we'll understand technically what we're doing.
Ways I think we can improve the Nigerian film industry getting to where it is supposed to get to is if we're able to find the sweet balance between passion and commercialization, right? Most of the people get into film for the sole purpose of it's my passion and I want to birth something beautiful. But somewhere along the line, you have to pay bills. You have to get a crew, you have to hire equipment, you have to do everything that needs to be done. And that can cost a lot of money. And it's not everybody that has access to that. So while most people do films for the commercial reason, just to make money, to eventually delve into passion, one of the ways that I think we'll be able to get there is if we can find that sweet spot just in the middle between making films for passion and making films for commercial reasons.
So there is always this clash between sound people, camera people, and producers, right? When camera people come, oh, we want to use this camera, we want to use this, the camera is going to fall down from the sky, the camera is going to come up from the earth, the camera is going to do a lot. Producers don't think twice. But when a sound engineer comes and the sound engineer is like, oh, okay, this is what I need, this is what's going to make my work easier and it's going to give you a quality sound, they tell you, but we've not been using this and nothing has happened. So yeah, it's how will I say, it kills our creativity, it lowers our morale. It just makes us think, okay, we can just use this for them. Let's just keep doing this. And there is let me say what is causing a huge back or a huge setback for sound in Nigeria is complacency.
I think slowly but surely we're getting there. I think, especially in Southern Africa, I think West Africa and East Africa actually have done a good job at showing their culture. But Southern Africa, I think there's been a lot of Western influence. But we're starting now to get better at telling authentic African stories, I think, across the continent. Like the importance of today as well, like best practices on the technical stuff. The way that we tell our stories isn't just about narrative, which is what we usually focus on, but also the technical aspect of the filmmaking. So I definitely believe that we're getting better at telling our stories.
But for me, I would say for the equipment, the kind of mics and the level mic and all they mentioned here, they're kind of expensive for us in Nigeria due to our cost of production. So you as a young filmmaker that want to up your game in sound engineering or whatever, I think it's good you also go online, make your research, then implement what I think we've learned maybe from here or elsewhere on what you're supposed to do, because I know we have a very big challenge in sound making. You must not have money to go to film school to learn this thing. You can go online, Google online, follow Amvca. They have a lot of classes on this that you can find yourself in their midst and learn these things. You know, because a lot of us, I know we are doing this for passion. We're doing it for passion. We just started doing it and we're loving what we're doing. We are learning with the work. But I think when you want to do something right, go out for it.
And then when it comes to technicalities, I feel like we should also still try to start maybe a small class, maybe start a company that would help improve sound for sound recording, so that we'll know and understand better what we are actually doing.
The road is always long, right? The route to success is not an easy one, so I believe we're on our way. We are getting there, and in no matter of time, we'll be there. It's a gradual process. We are learning, and we keep learning, and we keep going.
The industry is well on its way to, excellence. We are making, we're really taking good steps at getting better in what we are doing. Yeah, are releasing good films. We already have a lot of great films. We are well on our way to,
When we talk about Nollywood, Nigerian, African film, there are things outside of here that people will say about the films that, maybe some people won't say because of ego, but, just me being objective and wanting to help and do better, I know that sound is one of those things that needs a little help. It's one of the major things, because you can have bad picture and good sound and people will watch it, but you can't have good picture and bad sound and people will watch it. So I think that, making sure that these people know what sound is, even if they're not sound professionals, it helps everyone on set and in post to understand what needs to happen. They understand more about how it's supposed to feel, building the sound design and things like that. They take more care in what it is that they put instead of just using anything. So I think that doing things like what we did here for this master class, it's paramount in helping the next generation reach to new heights.
The biggest challenge I face would be creative block, because like it's kind of like demanding, especially when you put out some work. You have to need some time to rejuvenate and all that, and also working with people also can be very demanding, because the most difficult people to work with, to lead, basically, are human beings. Yeah.
Has its ups and downs, but it's been great. Like my mommy always says, even the thing that checks your heartbeat. Why did I just forget the name? But the thing that checks your heartbeat, it also goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and when it flatlines is when you're dead. So I just embrace the ups and also embrace the downs.
I'm Sean Butler. I'm from the U.S. My company is Untitled Chapter Entertainment Limited. Look us up and watch us on KeduTV.